Think we have started. Yes, yes, we can start now.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Ashwar, nice to have you here. So I'm Akash. I was part of Bispalani Hyderabad campus, graduated in 2017, and we have George here, who's from the Goa campus. And we've been doing these sessions just to understand, all the different, just to get to know all the different founders from which. It's just that we go ahead with the college lives, that we then we go ahead with our normal lives, and how good our alma mater is actually performing. So this is essentially a community for us to actually come together and motivate everyone else in their entrepreneurship path, right? We are trying to do this through the Bits Indie Hackers group, and the talk today would genuinely help a lot of folks get interested in entrepreneurship and build something by themselves, right? So that's the whole idea. So thank you for coming as a speaker today, and we are excited to hear more about your journey and more about Kalpi. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Akash. Thank you, George, for having me. I am actually from Pilani campus 15 to 19 batch, and good to hear that all three campus are here in one screen. So that's kind of good diversity this provides. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about how's been our journey and if any help we could provide to younger folks who are watching this, we'd be more than happy.
Awesome, awesome. So, Ashwar, I think let's get started from scratch, right? I think you started Kalpi in 2025, but I want to backtrack a little because I think you started your entrepreneurship journey in college itself, right? If I'm
Correct.
not wrong. So, can you start from there and help me understand, how did you eventually land on Kalpi? Because it's interesting. I think it was one vertical, and then you went into a whole different vertical. So, can you tell me a little more about just the journey
Yeah.
from college to Kalpi?
Got it. Yeah. So I'll be journey is very interesting. Like I believe engineering and then bits was one of the biggest chapter and the most crucial chapter of my life where bits give you this flexibility to explore, right? So giving you more background, I was a chemical engineer at bits, but I explored a lot of items. Like I was doing CS courses, like your open electives, so that I can have more understand of technology, AI, machine learning. That time it was more machine learning, deep learning, neural networks. Right now it is more people are going into AI, agentic stuff. So I was learning a lot of those things. I was always a very intellectual, curious person from very beginning. So I used to explore that. I was also exploring other non-academic things like more curricular side of things. I was part of clubs, groups, that gave me more understanding of managing things, how people react, understanding people, interacting with a lot of stakeholders, right? When you're managing, let's say, a fest, you will be interacting with sponsors, with other colleagues, new participants, and you get to understand how to plan things, how to manage things. So I was doing all of that, and all of you know how uh, the great everyone journey is there at bits, where it gives you flexibility to do things, not just focus on academics, but you can focus on other items as well. So, being a chemical engineer, hardly, I'm not sure how many of you still go to classes every day, but I used to go less classes, mostly tutes, and I managed a decent CG as well at the end of graduation. But I was exploring a lot of items. There also, I did a very small pilot project or entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it. It was more like Travello Delhi and more about learning from people's experience, travel experiences, and writing down as more blogs and talking to different restaurants and maybe rating them what Zomato was initially doing. So I was doing that just for exploration, learning purposes. But I was very much interested in technology, as I've mentioned, and I did a lot of CS courses and I landed my first job as data scientist and machine learning in German-based startup, which was known as Zerodha. There I built a lot of ML solutions for them. And simultaneously from Bits itself, I was very curious about investing, trading. And since I knew a lot of this technology by then and working at ZeoTap, I tried to automate and these trades, right? try to apply technology on top of these trades so that I can be more rule driven, data driven. Because initially, everyone who invests in market might be knowing that a lot of emotions play into picture. If you don't have preset rules, you will be reacting based on current market situations. So suppose you bought something, it start coming down, you'll start panic and maybe make a wrong decision. So I was trying to apply those things coming from tech background. It actually helped me. So I was doing that, but I could also recall the kind of network I've built at which I could also recall my friends, colleagues talking highly about CFA. So they mentioned that it holds one of the best curriculum in the world in terms of learning finance. So coming from engineering background, we were good with analytical skills and numbers and all of those items, but we were lacking literally on accounting things and more fundamental side of evaluating a company. How does the company work? So what a balance sheet? I didn't know back then. In this, I'm talking about 2019, 2020, right? So didn't know anything, but I was very much curious to learn more about how these investment statements, income statements look like, what are these cash flow statements, how to evaluate based on this. So I just started giving my CFA alongside my job, and just to learn more things. And with that, got grades and everything, I was able to clear all CFA in first attempt. So and post that, it actually gave me opened up a lot of opportunity to work as more professional setup in investment domain. And I started working with US hedge fund as quant researcher and developer. There I learned a lot of things: how infra is built in a professional setup, how money is managed using technology, data, research, what is alpha, and a lot of those around professional setup. Post that, after working there, I realized that there's a still gap in India where people are investing based on emotion. They don't have proper infrastructure, and they're investing more hunch based. So I thought I need to build something which could help me first at a personal level, and then to larger audience who wants to invest in market, but they're lacking in terms of where to get started. They don't have proper data, they don't have proper technology to do that. That's been the journey. So which played a really crucial role in exploring my interest, giving me opportunity to try a number of things so that I can go deeper into what is really exciting me, and then double downing on that.
Awesome, that's a great journey. So, yeah, bits happened. You got a chance to explore. You with the travel startup there. Went to a normal job, like I think most people are doing here, even myself. And then after that, yeah, the CFA part happened, and that's how you got into the US based quant fund.
Okay.
And from there, the inspiration to actually start something by yourself. In this case, Kalpi. Okay, that's fantastic. That's fantastic, Ashwar. So tell us more, right? Can you tell us more a little bit more about Kalpi in this case? Is it just you? Is the team, uh, also including other probably bits folks or other friends of yours? Yeah, tell us more about the team and Kalpi as well.
Correct. So started myself. I'm a solo founder at Kalpi, and Kalpi is all about systematic rule-based investing, powered through AI, analytical, and technology. Essentially, what we are trying to solve at Kalpi is anyone who wants to invest in stock market, it should be data-driven, rule-driven, and which is essentially known as quant. So essentially, quant-driven technology. We have made it so seamless for users so that user in one click, or maybe chatting with a AI interface or a bot, can be able to build the portfolio, backtest these portfolios, invest in these portfolio, rebalance this portfolio. Very systematic in nature how things work in a professional setup, like how any professionally fund manager does it. The same workflow we are giving it to users so that they can also be build their own workflows and portfolios. Essentially, what we are trying to say is you will be your own fund managers, and we will provide you technology, research, and data, everything. We want to democratize this systematic investing so that people don't go back to their usual process of maybe hand signed based investing, or going falling in the trap of any Telegram group or tips based stuff. So that's about Kalpi. And about team, primarily I started and then people joined us. Right now it is a small team of 6 7 folks. We are actively hiring as well, but we want to keep lean. As with AI and all, lean teams tend to perform better, who are very much aligned with the goal, are really interested and passionate about this. So, and we have few Bitsian members as well. Few were interns, few are like full timers. So it's been good. Like it's been a great supporter that way.
Awesome, that's great. So Ashwar, because you mentioned that the tool is actually for very very normal people who don't do emotional investing and can rely on data. Um, is there any prerequisite that a normal layman actually needs before using Kalpi? And what do you to make it do to actually make it easier for them to get started?
Okay, so essentially, we're trying to cater both kind of audience. One is slightly sophisticated who understands the market. We are reasoning and building the end-to-end workflow for them. Somebody who is just starting, for them also we have built like a pre-built templates which they can directly use. So suppose someone wants to say they want a long-term portfolio or a low volatile momentum kind of portfolio, they can come there, choose those. And the good part is we have not kept it black box. We have kept it everything very transparent. So whenever they choose something, they see a full workflow already pre-planned for them. And then they can see what is happening behind the picture. They can customize if they want to and learn from that journey. Also, to ease in the experience of user, what we try to do is we try to post content and education about that stuff. We have also created some videos how to use Kalpi in a much more seamless manner where user can learn from those items and at the same time implement it here as well. So the Kalpi solves two purposes, not just ease in your investing journey, also it helps you learn and at the same time simulate in a more practical aspect rather than just going into theory stuff.
Understood. Makes sense. And Ashwar, from a revenue standpoint, right? Is the sophisticated part that is actually making revenue for you, and the other part is it more like you're focused on adoption and word spreading? How exactly are you thinking about the? Because it's interesting. It's two different markets altogether. You're trying
Correct.
to launch both of these at the same time. So just want to know your thoughts, right?
Correct. So we essentially within Kalpi we have two product, which is one is Kalpi.ai, which is more retail centric focused, where any retail investor trader could come to the platform and manage this entire workflow of portfolio construction. We have also built another product which is known as Kalpi Quant, which is more for professionals and institutions. I'll give you a little more context about this later. Kalpi Quant, it is like a hedge fund infra we are providing to these institutions, where again the motive of the company remains the same. There also we are providing them technology research so that they can build the maybe a basket of stocks or portfolio, whatever you want to call it, end to end with in matter of minutes, which previously used to take months and weeks with a proper cleansed data. There's a backtesting, there's a investing, there's automatic rebalance. That is how any professional also face challenges, but this is much more sophisticated, much more customized version of and we have created a simpler version at Kalpi.ai. So essentially, both of these solves the same purpose. It's just two different distribution channel you can consider. One is for more retail centric, where we try to learn and talk to our retail customers and understand what they want and what their needs, and try to customize more and add more products around that. Other is more in terms of Kalpi Quant, which is heavy quant and infra setup, which also powers our Kalpi.ai, the retail segment
Got it.
in terms of technology and AI. Yes.
Understood, understood, Asha. I think this is great. I think we've said good base about what Kalpi is. I just want to take a pause here. We have folks in the audience because this is a candid AMA. Guys, do you have any questions regarding Kalpi or any other questions as well? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Right. Okay, I think we're good there then. As time
Yeah,
progresses.
I have a small question. So, like, how did you approach, like, for example, I think you raised funding from Zerodha, right? How was that process? How did you approach Nitin Kamath, and how did you go about it?
Okay. So I think it was more, I would say, serendipity. And I always talk about this that you need to keep hitting hard and someday you will success, right? As we all know, it's saying that keep trying, keep doing hard work, and one day there would be like a Tathastu. Bhagwan will say Tathastu for all your things. So I'll tell you the process. I usually I go for a lot of these events which I believe would be helpful in any way, even if they don't, but some networking and some things you get out of those, right? So I was happened to be in one of this networking event where I met somebody who connected me to the Rainmatter Zerodha's team, and then we get in touch there. And there would be a lot of iterations happening about a product, company, what is the vision, and Rainmatter really understand this domain in terms of the future of investing. They really like that idea about how we are democratizing this investing to individuals and institutions. So that has been our journey where we showed the product, there was iteration, they came back, they asked what is about vision, we met their team, even I met Nitin Kamath, his entire team, and they evaluated it very deeply. And for us also, they were really helpful. They were very transparent in the process, and I'm glad they supported us in our journey. But the key takeaway is one should one should keep applying, like rather than thinking of outcome, they should keep going to a lot of these events, keep talking to a lot of people, keep building great stuff. By the time we actually applied to them, one of our product was almost ready and we were talking to customers, doing pilots with customers. So until and unless you don't do that, you sit in your home building presentation, you don't meet people in real in person, that's when it won't crack. Like it can, but it is very difficult to crack that. You need to go outside of your table chair comfort zone, talk to people, talk about your product, and you will never know, one day some connects might come in and they might connect you with whom you wanted to, and it will go from there. Yeah, I think Garv has a question.
Yeah, hi Ashwar. Pleasure to connect with you.
Hi.
Great going. Yeah, congrats on the fundraise and everything. Great product. I wanted to ask, how was your regulatory journey? I mean, you must have need to get corporate RIA or couple of other licenses. When
Correct.
did you figure out that this is? I know, like it's not that expensive compared to other licenses at this point. But when did you figure out, this is the right time to apply for these licenses? Like, when did you validate and when did you figure out now I should go ahead and apply this license? So what was the journey with that and how long did it take you? Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So basically, you need to understand what you're building. We basically started, and the whole motive and objective around Kalpi is more being a technology and software company rather than being a asset management company or becoming a PMS or research first. We are technology first, research later. So that is when, because as you rightly mentioned, these getting these licenses, one is a time consuming task, and at the same time getting it on the company level is slightly more costlier process as well. So you need to get that stage where you want to take a decision whether I want to be more technology company, because if you're just technology company at that point in time, you would not need those licenses. And
Got
if you
it.
want to become a research first company, then you need to plan for all of these licenses. And then what you can do is start very small. So today, if you want to get any RA license or RIA license on individual name, that is very cost effective process. Like you hardly
Agreed, agreed.
get
Yeah.
a entire thing done within a,
5
let's say,
lakhs.
of 50,000.
Oh yeah, 5 lakhs I think is the corporate one or something like that.
For corporate it is 5 lakh plus.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
would say rather go small, like
Mm-hmm.
and process, and also pay attention and build processes around different aspect of business, like getting more
Mm-hmm.
clientele, focusing on research side of things, what portfolio you will build. So if you want to go that side of business, start smaller rather than just figuring out and putting all your energy and resources just on getting licenses on a corporate level of big licenses. That would may delay your journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to have those small wins, and then you can later on upgrade your individual RA to more corporate RA once you have more clients and you are reaching those thresholds.
Definitely, definitely. That's why I wanted to ask you, how to figure out for in your particular field, key when to get certain license because it's a complicated
We
process.
started more as technology firm.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's smart, definitely.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any
No, no,
other?
so sorry. I was just asking when you say RA, what exactly are you referring to
Yeah,
here?
so I'll give you context for larger audience. RA is essentially research analyst. That is a SEBI compliance required. So anybody in markets or in Indian space giving any kind of research saying you need to go and buy TCS at this point in time. And disclaimer: none of this is a buy or sell recommendation. So if you want to give out any kind of research in Indian space, you need to have these SEBI licenses, and SEBI is becoming very strict in terms of these licenses. And there are different licenses for different purpose. So RA is one of the license which is known as research analyst, where you can then start recommending about stocks, mutual funds, building baskets, and all of this. And there are some other licenses also like RIA, which is investment advisor license, PMS, which is portfolio management companies license,
Got it.
or starting any professional research setup or building portfolios. Yeah.
Understood. But Ashwar, like in your case, I think your girls also tried to build something similar. So I'm just asking probably both of you as well. This,
No, no. This was. I'm not. Just sorry to cut you off. I'm not trying to build something similar. That was my previous startup,
yeah, previous time.
Quant Blue. Yeah, yeah,
Now it's small blue, right? If I'm not wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Uh, so I was just asking like in your case, you guys are you making recommendations, or are you basically telling that you guys can, I mean, as a consumer or as a user, you guys
You
can
guys can Yeah,
Uh,
correct. So at this point in time, until unless we have our own RA or we have our associates RA as well, we are not giving any direct recommendation in the platform. It is more like analytical. We're talking about which holds risk, which not. You can build your own basket. We are providing all the tools. We are providing backtesting, but no direct recommendation we provide in a platform.
understood. But interesting. I had no idea about the licenses part. So thanks, girl, for asking that question.
So the thing is, I mean, Indian regulators are too strict when it comes to retail. So ideally, either you at least want to have someone who's an RA on your team at a personal level, so they can be consultants. So at least you can bypass some part. But ideally, at some point, you want to have those licenses as soon as possible, because there is some overlap, or someone can sue, or you know how these things work. And SEBI, the regulator, will always take side of the retail investor. So I mean, that's what I have learned or figured out from my little experience that I had. But yeah. Mm.
Correct. That's true.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Anyone else has any other questions?
Uh, Hi, Ashwar. I had one question. I have one question. I just wanted to ask you what all tech stack do you use? I just went through your website and I find it very interesting. So, are you using agents or what's the tech stack that you used?
Yeah, so essentially, tech stack wise, agents we have built internally. We have not exposed that to retail user. Very soon, we'll be rolling out that product where using a chatbot, you will be able to build portfolios and do bunch of more analysis around your portfolio. So agent wise, we are using agentic orchestrators like LangGraph and all of that. If
Mm.
you want to understand more, so we have our data engineering pipelines, which with this lot of heavy lifting in terms of data cleansing, data validations, checks, all of those ETL stuff. So we are doing that for infra. We're using more cloud-based infra of AWS, GCP for different use cases. Front end, back end wise, it is more API driven. Front end is more Next.js, and that kind of platform.
Great. So I just had one more personal question. So I just stalked your LinkedIn, and there you worked as an ML engineer first, then you went into quant, right?
Correct.
And the two questions I have: first, when did this idea just clicked you? Okay, we can build this. Second, I'm I'm in my final year and I got placed. I have two offers, like one in product, one is software. So I'll mostly go into software. So first question is, I really want to build stuffs like these and use agents, build websites like these. And second is, how do I come up with these ideas or look out for these ideas in my field? That's it.
Okay,
Very
so
cliche questions, but yeah.
no, 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 that's good. Like very basic, normal questions, which are primarily. So I talked about how I transitioned from a journey from machine learning or being a just tech guy to more financial quant side of things. It is I was doing CFA as well, and I was always interested in markets during my college days. So I wanted to have more professional experience. That is why I shifted to quant roles. And post that, while I was working there, I got to understand that I was facing personally myself these issues that India don't has any of that platform. Because I came from tech background, I could build for myself first, and then I leverage this to everyone else as well. So that was more natural journey rather than me going out and finding a problem. And I think that is a much more better and prudent way of solving a problem, rather like you going and searching for a problem, or you have built solution and try to fit a problem to that. Rather is naturally you will see a lot of in your day-to-day lives also very basic things. uh, you might be facing problem or some redundant work you will be doing. Try to build a solution on top of that. So a good solution nowadays I see after coming to this agentic stuff is, so managing your LinkedIn is essentially a hassle, right? You need to go outreach, build, look for your audience. So maybe you'll use some sales navigator or search, and then reach out to folks. People have built solution which is a automatic agentic frameworks where you just type your audience and it will automatically in a workflow manner build those, and that is working very well as SaaS. This is just one example, right? So day to day you might be doing a lot of things where that would be a hassle to you, and you can solve those items. Coming to your second question with respect to product versus software, I would say it is more personal choice which field you want to go into. If you're more product first companies, that enables you to have more understanding about product, about even businesses, how businesses run, but less on technology.
Hmm,
In software wise, it is more technology first, where you understand how to build things, you will be building things. And then if you have interest towards product, you can also start contributing and thinking software engineer, thinking product first and building product first. And
hmm,
if you have both of these skills, it's a very big win. Because while I was at my first job, I was technology first, but I have this product acumen. So I always used to build and think in terms of whatever I'm building, how this will affect the end consumer, how consumer will interact with this product. And that really groomed me as more product person as well, alongside my me being a software dev or whatever ML engineer, right?
I got it.
So being that intellectual curious about things and learning and also thinking around other aspects outside your domain will really widen your horizon in terms of thinking. That actually helps you when you want to build something later on.
That answered both my questions. Thank you so much, Ashwar.
Thank you, Arjun, and all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Arjun, for asking that. Ashwar, we have one question on chat as well. I'll just read that for you, Sanika, if I'm not clear, and if you want to add more, feel free to add as well. So, Sanika is
Mhm.
basically asking, uh, yeah, she wants to know if it can be used by an individual investor, Kalpi, and if there are any resources to understand more about the features. I did see a free plan, but I would love to hear more from you as well.
Yeah. So yes, we have built this for individual investor only, so that you can be your own fund manager, you can manage your own portfolio and manage the entire life cycle. We are building resources how to use Kalpi better. There's in the bottom, if you scroll, there's one section of how to use Kalpi, where we are putting up videos about how to build these portfolios. And at the same time, we also have a community, WhatsApp community. So you can join those communities, and there you can ask question if you're facing any issues with respect to usage, with respect to any issues or any feedback you want to convey. So you can use that.
Hey, that's great. Thank you.
Specific question if you have, I am happy to answer now as
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to understand how I can use this product myself because I've been uh, outsourcing my investment decisions to an investment like AMC, the mutual fund advisors, right? So I really want to step up and take charge of my own portfolio. And I did. I mean, even I scrolled through your website, I saw a portfolio analyzer tool. So
well. Correct.
yeah, so I also wanted to understand. So I have my investments spread across a few platforms. So
Mhm.
does it centralize all my like investments, or do I need to connect each of those platforms?
So right now you need to connect those platforms, but very soon we are rolling out a new feature into this, where with one click, putting your mobile number and maybe Aadhaar, it would able to get all your
Nice.
investment, and there you will be able to evaluate and understand your portfolio. How was it able to maybe perform? How was it able to perform and beat benchmarks? What is risk associated? Is your portfolio really diversified? What these fund managers claim to be, or is it more concentrated, which you can do it today also, but right now you need to connect individual brokers or type
Hmm.
it manually. We are bringing this where in one seamless manner you will fetch all your portfolio and should be able to yourself evaluate those items.
Nice. Excited to see that feature come live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
And
product, Ashwar. Thank you.
meanwhile, you can try exploring other product builder where you can build
Hmm.
your portfolios and then invest in these portfolios, which gives you much more control with respect to building portfolios.
Got it. Thank you. And also, is there a place where I can find the link for the WhatsApp community?
Yeah, bottom you scroll, there's a WhatsApp section where you can join. It will redirect you to the community.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Dhruv has a question.
Thanks, Anika. Dhruv, go for it.
Hey, thanks, Ashwar. Uh, I would want to know more on the building part of the things. Like, how did you? Can you share your experience and elaborate on how exactly did you train your like AI ML models? What are the technical skill sets specifically, like which you enhance, like DSA, OOPS, or what exactly is actually needed to build the platform? Because I'm coming from an operations background, so just wanted to have an understanding on the same.
Okay. So I would say that way AI has shrunken that gap of information asymmetry, right? And all of us would agree to that. Previously, somebody building outside domain or building outside in terms of key skills, like today I know people who came from sales operation background, they have built great product, like at least MVP, if not a production grade things, MVP to start with, and then they can have more teams and more specialized crafted folks to groom this and make it more production ready. So that way we try to use a lot of these agentic and AI tools. You have Cursor to build softwares and all. You have Claude, then you have these Lovables and all to build it. If you don't come from technology background, since I was from technology background, we have team, so we have built on scratch on real like a production level stuff. But I would say if you're coming from more other background where you don't have technology aspect, these tools are very good starting point. Like Emergent is really cool stuff when it comes to building it. Builds great MVPs which you can start with, go out with audience, validate your problem statement, see if what you were thinking is that a real issue, or you are able to find that product market fit, you'll get to know. Like if you build some MVP, go out and talk to your users will give you a number of advice, like these features I really don't want, and this is like a game changer. I was really looking for something like this, I couldn't figure out. Then you can double down on those items rather than building a very finished product, hiring a team which will require a lot of time, resources in terms of cost. I know people who just starting, they have built MVP in matter of 2 3 days. They have evaluated, gone out. So in matter of week to 10 days, they have figured out a real issue, talking to customers, and started double downing on the real pain point and building more sophisticated product on top of that. So I think best approach would be this. Once you figure out a problem, you have known what exactly to solve, then you can maybe hire a more technology person in the team as co-founder or as founding member team or more members, and then you can start building around that, rather than building on a problem which you assume is a problem may not be a real problem to the world.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I understood your point of view where you're coming from, but considering like, I mean, I also have some like because I studied electronics, so I obviously have some like core background, some technical skills regarding the front end which you mentioned, BSA. So at least like many of the electronic folks as well, I believe they must be having a very good understanding of OOPS, this thing, competitive programming, because they have done like all that stuff during the college days. But what if like you have 3 4 years of industrial experience right now, and then you're not in touch with the tech for time being, and so which all concepts you can revisit, and then you can build the MVP on yourself. If from that standpoint,
Understood.
can you like how often do you split your time learning your enhancing your technical skills, I would say, as compared to building, and how to go about it? Because I understand that you have some AI right now currently in the space. You can give the prompts, you'll automatically get those apps and all. But then obviously if you don't really understand each and every function on how the application is as an overall is working, that like personally what I believe is, then so any further enhancements or future changes might likely to break the application somewhat in the nearby future, if you're not really understanding the intricacies of how the things are actually tied up together in
Yeah.
a workflow.
Got it, got it. So there, definitely you should learn all the foundations and basics of how things work, how OOP concepts work, how your data structures work, which best data structure. But now times have changed. If you're somebody who just practicing DSA questions, building those programming questions, and planning for interviews, and you land up maybe in big companies still you can land up. But a lot of these startups, and at Kalpi as well, we have uh, basically going for more practical and pragmatic approach when it comes to hiring as well. So we look for skills in the candidate which are more practical in nature. So that comes with building stuff. So rather you just focusing on DSA and OOPS, those are necessary, but at the same time you need to also focus on skills which are more concrete in nature. Suppose you want to be backend engineer, so start building projects, start building APIs, start building some cool projects, and these tools will help you all of that. If you want to go in, let's say, some agentic stuff, then first you should have understanding about how agents work, how LLM works, what are neural networks, how these bonds are prepared. But at the same time, you should also have practical understanding of application, how applications are built on top of this, because in real world environment, something which is more prominent skill which is required is doing a more practical stuff. So things are changing now. Essentially we don't take any DSA round for our candidates, rather than we give them a real world problem and see if user is able to, or candidate is able to solve that, think around that problem, how he approaches the problem, able to build something on top of that, a real solution, and then we do the further round of discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned like not about the DSA by getting into the company, but I was mentioning in general, like as a builder, suppose you want to build. These are like what are the some basics which are absolutely mandatory. Like at least you need to have an understanding of DSA first, and then OOPS, and then probably get into like front end. And as you mentioned, for building backend. Suppose if I'm using Laravel, so developing the APIs and all. So, so
To
probably
start
I was
building
wondering
practical
that that's the
projects,
path.
like
Yeah, that's
whichever
the path
domain
to
you
go
want
about.
to go, whichever domain you want to go. Suppose you want to be more backend or software dev, then start building practical project. That's what I'm saying. Like building
Okay, okay.
APIs in fast API is the easiest way, or learning more about Golang, because that is where scalable architecture you can build. If you want to go in front end, then no, just stick to Node.js, go for more Next.js, React, these frameworks as well. And then now there are React Flow, and a lot of new technologies are coming. So also have these practical technical exposures as well, apart from the conceptual ones in the practical
Yep,
stuff.
yep. Got it. Thanks, Ashwar.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. One small question. How are you going about user acquisition, right? How are you acquiring users right now?
So essentially, we are deploying multiple strategies there. We are going direct to customers as well, but our main focus is through institutions as well. So we are going through B2B to C, and through institutions, we are also trying to support how we can support their customers in terms of customer acquisition. And direct to customers, we are purely going right now very organic. We have zero ad spends or any kind of marketing spends till now. We are going more organic in terms of content-led strategies and in terms of more educational-based strategies, where we try to educate user first and then give them more practical exposure through platform for the user.
Yes, yes. And for institutional customers, right? How are you? Are you approaching through insider sales, or how is it?
So there again, I talked about these networking events, right? A lot of these institutions or institution representatives come there, so we get good connects there, and then you can approach them. That is one way. Other way is plain cold emailing, but there the conversion is very less. Like they open up your mails or not. So these meeting these people, these institutions in person through these events or through some personal connects is you get a very higher chance of conversion.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, on the same lines, if you can dumb it down a little more, Ashwar, when you say institutions, what are you referring to here?
So these are financial institutions. For us, financial institutions, our ideal customers would be, let's say, portfolio management services companies or institutions. So these are big firms who are managing wealth for individuals. There, the ticket size is, let's say, at least 50 lakh per customer they take. These are one. Second, another would be broker houses who are like an intermediary between customers and exchange, who place our orders and take it to exchange. These are second. Third would be wealth managers, asset management companies. When I'm referring to institution, these are the few members who are institutions for us for wealth tech platform.
Got it.
Yes.
And when you say B2B to C, are you basically saying that the customers of these institutions are the ones who are actually
We
buying the
give them solution to them, and through our solution, they basically acquire their customers and give our differentiation to their customers.
understood? It's more it's like how accounting tools also work. For example, if there are accountants working for companies, whatever tools they suggest is what the companies automatically use. So
Correct.
it's the accountant who decides what tool to use. Got it. Uh,
Correct.
Great, that's interesting. And thanks, George, for asking that. I had the exact question after what Dhruv mentioned about building the product. I was interested to know how do you actually sell the product. So thanks for asking that. And from your perspective, Ashwar, which one is an important skill? And just wanted to know, right? What was the toughest element in this entire journey for you?
So I would say definitely selling is much more important than building, because if you have even built a great product and if you can't sell it, it of no use. It's a whole zero value, right? It would look great on your desk, but if people are not using it, it is of no use. You cannot sell it, then there's no point of doing that. Another is with coming to this AI, the building has become easier, right? You can build things, you can ship things, but selling is much more a difficult craft. And we are also learning that craft. We are constantly on our toes to sell these to people, to give it to people for try, get their feedbacks. Essentially, because what you have seen is now anyone in the market can build things with this AI agent stuff, right? But selling is still, distribution is still a key thing which anyone who want to build anything should need to figure out that first. And now any investors, stakeholders, competitors, these would be your primary questions as a founder as well, that how will you, what is your GTM strategy, how will you distribute to larger audience, how will you reach to larger audience at a very minimal cost. They would have budget in terms of marketing, budget in terms of your ad spends and all of that, right? So you need to think like that. Me coming from tech background, we are doing sales, right? I've been doing a lot of sales, and sales looks very easy, but it is not. Like, it is, you need to be thick skin, you need to keep going to the same person, keeping your everything aside and talking to him still politely, understanding his pain point and try to solve his pain point. That is when he'll be interested talking to you. So, and that has been are like a biggest challenge for us as well, because in our domain, when people are trusting you with your money, how do you trust somebody, engineer started a company with their money, right? So you need to build systems, you need to build that trust. And I believe personally, trust comes from transparency. So we have kept things very transparent when it comes to maybe platform data, whatever they are trying to do in our platform. It's very transparent and open. We show it, whether it is backtesting engine or the kind of analytics we show. That kind of gives them trust, and eventually, they when they trust you, there's more potential and probability they're gonna do business with you. So that's been a key challenge for us as well, because there are a lot of established player in the market, and we are trying to compete with them with respect to resources, we with respect to trust. They have been in market for more than 2 decades. So that's a very interesting journey as well. Like, you get to learn a lot of stuff, a lot of perspective. People in the market will try to uh, like demotivate you, but you need to stick with your focus and keep moving ahead.
Understood. And along the same lines, what you mentioned, Ashwar, these existing players, how are you actually differentiating with these? Like, is it the product itself? Is it is it the way you engage? What exactly is your competitive advantage here?
So I would say product definitely one. There's no one product out in the market who solves in this domain. There are more products around solving problem in FNO space or more algo based trading. But we essentially, what we're saying is, you can be your own fund manager. We managing entire life cycle with technology, with research, and our competitive advantages. A lot of these players come from finance first background, where the technology wise they may not be that advanced, but they're more finance first, they have good experience. How we like to also tackle things is, we have a good mix of technology and finance in the team as well, and in terms of expertise and product. So that way it keeps us apart. We are applying a lot of technology agentic stuff in finance domain, because we understand both side of things, and both side of things are extremely difficult to know. So that technical know-how is also one of our moat in terms of Kalpi.
Got it. So super helpful. I think we are almost at the end. I want to take a pause here and know if folks have any questions before we actually close this. Right?
Hey, Ashwar, just one last one. So, how reliable do you think is AI? What if, like we talk about self-driving cars, the use of AI in finance for investment purposes, like well, for many other use cases in any industry? So, is there any chance of error? Like, and if there's error, how much? How do you plan to tackle that? Those users. What if AI's recommendation is not like providing the returns or something of that sort. Or I hope you get my point.
Yeah, correct, correct, correct. Dhruv, I would say very interesting questions, and I'm glad you asked it because this it is very important to understand this. When it comes to money, you cannot fully trust on AI, right? Or investing for that matter. So, how we use AI for our company is whatever decisions or any analytics you see here through AI would be very deterministic. We are not relying fully on AI in terms of giving you investment decision. AI is being used for other analytical purpose and to ease in and understand your question and then replying the actual fund manager or actual researchers research is being given to you based on your question. So give you an example here is, let's say we have a chatbot where user is asking uh, what is wrong in my portfolio or how does my portfolio look in terms of risk in last 6 months. A concretized question, very valid uh, first principle question where any user would ask, right? So rather than AI hallucinating on top of this and AI giving you advice what is risk in your portfolio, we have our internal agents built and there are different tools based, and those tools actually operate on actual data, the cleansed data which we have kept it internally, the databases which we have built. And this AI's job is just to interpret users question and accordingly figure out which is the best tool to call, and that tool actually calculates the answer more deterministic manner where a lot of human researchers are involved building those tools. So that way, our AI won't hallucinate. It will just help you guide through the right direction.
Oh, got it, got it, got
Yeah,
it. So, so for different use cases, data set, you have different AI models trained.
correct,
Understand.
correct.
And
So that
may
can
I just know,
become
like,
the.
yeah, how, like, from where this data is, and what is the reliability, the source of your data?
So we take
I mean,
data
if you
from
don't
a
mind, yeah.
number of data vendors. We cleanse this data. There are a lot of data engineering pipelines which runs on top of this data, which cleanse, validate, make it more. There's some concept in quant finance which is point in time data or survivorship bias free data. So if I were to explain, point in time data means it does not have any future biasness. So whenever when data was arrived in historic past, it's been shown as it is to user, it's been used as it is. Survivorship bias meaning, and these are very prominent terms in any quant finance. So survivorship bias meaning we are not evaluating your performance, things that has survived the historic past, but these are on actual stocks that were present in that history. So some might have delisted, got merged, some changes, some corporate action happened, but we try to do a lot of cleansing there. So that way our data has holds a lot of reliability.
Oh, got it, got it. And then your AI and ML models are based on this, your cleans data, which you have
Yes,
validated. Understood,
correct.
understood. And data is coming from the vendors or
Data is
API.
coming from all the
Uh,
vendors,
oh, okay, okay.
multiple data vendors who are specialized in their different kinds of data. We curate a lot of our analytical data on top of that as well. So yes, it's very data heavy centric in that matter.
Oh, thanks, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Ruth. So I think it's almost time to wrap it up. I'll wrap it up with three questions. First one is slightly longer. Um, so, Ashwar, like, what is your goal, right, for the next 1 year, 2 years? Where do you want Kalpi to be? Just want to know your overall vision.
So essentially, we are, as I've already mentioned, we are a technology first company. Our goal is become a one-stop solution for all systematic portfolio construction needs. And for next 1 to 2 years, we wanna expand on different asset class as well. So very soon you will be seeing mutual funds also being supported at Kalpi. Eventually expand it to other asset class like global markets and all. We are built in India, but for global world.
Awesome. No, this is fantastic, Ashwar. And for you to reach this goal, right? I'm very curious because all of us come from bits. Are you guys planning on taking interns or probably hiring from bits so that we can connect you with the right folks? Just wanted to know your thoughts here. You don't have to answer here, we can always connect later to know more about this. But just wanted to know, right? If you
Yeah, always. Like I've also posted in Bitsin groups. I've also posted there's one bitsin.org that I've posted. So we are always hiring great talent who are looking to build with us in 0 to 1 journey. We're really passionate about this domain and who are like go getters. So essentially, when you ask us what's the JD, our JD is go getter and problem solver. Like I give you a problem, you're able to solve it, and that's kind of a mindset, folks. We always look forward to and would love to work with those kind of folks.
awesome, awesome. That's fantastic. And one more thing would be, if folks have to reach out to you, then what's the best way to actually reach out, right? I know you're on Bitsy and groups because you posted on them, but then what's the best way if somebody has to reach out to you directly?
So two ways you can reach out to us is if you want to reach out for maybe job and all, then what you best way would be the, write to us and you can write it at info@kalpi.ai. Other ways you want to personally connect with me, I'm very active on LinkedIn, so reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be very matter of few hours if I'm stuck somewhere. Otherwise, as soon as possible, I'll try to revert back to your queries.
This is great. This is great. Thanks, Ashwar. And probably, yeah, one final thing. If you had to recommend like two or three names that are from Bits and are doing great in the finance space, who would you recommend so that we can get them on these talks as well? Probably
Mm,
single name would do, but yeah, if you have more, feel free to go for it.
So I would say another startup in finance space. I think they're from Bits Goa. On finance guys, they are doing really good. Another Bits in startup in finance space. They got acquired by Dhan, which is Startz folks. They are from Bits Goa. I think these two people I know they're doing great. You can have them. It would be good to see their perspective as well.
Great, awesome. I think this was a very interesting talk, Ashwar. Thank you so much for actually coming on today and sharing your journey. Uh, Guys on the call, we'll post this on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn. And yeah, if you ever want to refer back, it's all there. And if you just want to copy, feel free to reach out to George or me. And yeah, we'll be happy to help. So thank you so much, Ashwar. You have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for taking time out on a Sunday for this. So you have a fantastic rest of the weekend or the rest of the day. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Akash. Thank you, Josh, for having me here. Thank you, everyone. There were really interesting questions you have asked, and I hope you go and explore the platform. If you have any feedback, we are always here. Reach out to me personally or through email. And until then, happy investing.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. Have a great day.